Are you ready to take your ministry in a new direction? Are you ready to explore new innovative ways to carry the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world? Have you ever thought about having a television ministry? Were you reluctant because of pricing? Did it seem too costly for your ministry? If I told you that television is affordable, and that there is a solution within your budget, would you be interested? There is an affordable solution for your ministry. It's Clarity IBN. Clarity is an affordable option for you to be on television. You can reach the world for Jesus without breaking your budget. Go now. Go to clarityibn.org. Fill out the contact form, and a representative from Clarity IBN will email you on how you can be on television affordably. Don't wait, don't procrastinate. Do it now. Go to clarityibn.org and get started.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Moment of Truth. This is live at 5 with your host, Dr. Harold G. Dakins Jr. All right, we're ready to get started. One moment. Gotta do one. Took myself off the camera. All right, we're ready to get started this evening. And we have an announcement. There was somebody logged in. What happened? All right. Well, we're ready to get started this evening. Oh, what just happened? So, we are launching our network again, and this time there are some changes. And I'm going to be posting up some information, opening it up. Everyone is interested. Let's see. We are going to be on Roku again, on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Google TV, one, two, three, four, Android TV, and Chromecast TV. And we'll have the videos on demand again, and a lot of things we're going to be doing. So we hope to have all this up and running. Now, what just happened? I signed in. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I don't know what just took place. Okay, anyway, I'll be giving you some updates in the next couple of days. We're going to be doing all of the setup so that the channel will be up and running. And I'm going to be offering some packages for those of you that have content and want to share. There will be no broadcast fees, but there will be a maintenance fee for your half-hour program. There will be an initial setup fee of $125. That's to get you all set up, get you signed in, and then it's $25 a month for your maintenance fee. And that's just, to be able to transfer your footage online over to us, and then we put you in the rotation. And you will have a half-hour uh, program each week on whatever day you choose in your half-hour slot, and it's only $25 a month for four slots a month. It's one slot that's a weekly slot for 30 minutes. You won't find that any better anywhere. So we're going to be sending out the information, telling you how to sign up and how to log in. So stay tuned. Got some exciting things that are going to be happening. Good evening, my sister. How are you today? All right, so let's get started. Yeah, again, we are going back on the network, and we're going to be on all of those platforms that I just mentioned. So look forward to what's going to be happening in our new direction in ministry. All right, so let's get started. Tonight, we're going into a new chapter in the book of Proverbs. We're going into Proverbs chapter 24. Yeah, Proverbs 24. And we're going to be picking up at the first two verses. And we're going to start off talking about avoiding evil associations. We talked about that a little bit in the last chapter and the chapter before. And we've all had those experiences where, our parents told us to be careful of the company we keep. And you do have to be careful and cautious of the company you keep and the people that you hang around. Uh, Influence, associations, all of those things are very critical to you, because when there's bad associations, it causes trouble in your life. A lot of times it's unforeseen trouble and unsought trouble. It's trouble you're not looking for. It just happens to show up. So you have to be very careful when you making connections, and associations and relationships with people. Um, and a lot of times, what happens uh, is that by the time you realize it, because you didn't heed the warning signs, the red flags, by the time you realize it, you're in a little deep, sometimes too deep to pull out quick enough for safety. You'll come out with some damage. Um, Remember, there was always influences in and around your life. People, uh, excuse me, enticing you, influencing you, tempting you, baiting you. I know I'm a pretty avid fisherman, and you know presentation is everything. You can take a bait that it's totally it's false. It's not real. We call them lures. Why? Because we're trying to lure the fish. Okay. Um, but the way you present it, the way it hangs on the hook, the way it falls in the water, and the motions it makes causes fish to believe it's real, and that's what makes them go after it. Well, the same thing with us as human beings. there are ways that we are enticed because there is an appearance to us of something beneficial or authentic, when in fact it's not. It's not beneficial, it's detrimental. And when things are detrimental to you, um, they will be harmful when your intent was for them to be pleasurable, or your desire was that they would be pleasurable. How many times have we gotten into stuff that then came off as pleasurable or fun, but ended up being quite devastating to us? And in some cases, uh, almost ruined our lives, at least gave us a hard struggle for a period of time. Solomon first mentions this in chapter 1, verses 10 through 19, where he says, "Turn away from sinners and their enticements." Uh oh, something just happened to my outline. Oh boy, what happened? Proverbs. Uh-oh. Something just happened to my outline. 24, Proverbs 24. There we go. So here, he's making it very clear that we should avoid evil associations. Now, as I was saying, he first mentions this um, in chapter 1, verses 10 through 19. And here, he's giving the warning to his son to be weary, yeah, be careful of how you associate with individuals. Evil associations, corrupt good manners. This is something. But in 1 through 10 through 9, he says, "Turn away from sinners and their enticements." In other words, don't always listen to um, what they say to you. He reinforces it in chapter 22 and 17. "Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge." Then we heard it in 23, where he says, "Give me your ear, give me your heart, and watch my ways." Avoid evil associations. A lot of times, we are caught up because of what we see. Our eyes will uh, invariably cause us to look longer than we should have. David should have looked no further. When David was standing on that balcony and he saw Bathsheba uh, disrobing to bathe, he should have turned, walked off his balcony, and went back in his palace. But he looked too long. His eyes ensnared him and turned his heart to evil, because that was evil what he did, committing adultery and then setting up her husband Uriah to die. That was evil, wicked. But in the other instance, uh, Solomon is speaking about it in regards to how we can envy what we see from those who are nefarious and wicked workers doing evil things. A lot of times it's the money. Um, wow, they making all that money and oh, they getting over. but we don't consider the consequences, um, nor the fact that what they are doing is illegal and harmful to others. Yeah, the drug dealer makes a lot of money, but how many families are suffering? How many employers suffer? How many, you know, communities suffer behind drug addiction? It's a ripple effect. Don't envy the wicked. It says this in verse 1. Let me pull it up for you. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Yeah, it looks good. It looks beneficial. It looks promising. But looks not only can be, but are deceiving. Evil men here are, it's referring to those who are troublemakers, who create atmosphere for violence, for wickedness, for sinful behavior and indulgence. Um, and he's simply saying here, don't admire them, don't be envious of them, because what they are doing is causing irreparable damage. Yes, uh, don't be envious or admiring. Don't be so taken away at their flashy lifestyle, their clothes, their car, their jewelry. You know, the people that hang around them, how much attention they get. Sometimes other people merely like the attention that the other person is getting. And that's what's driving them, not even so much the money, but the fact that, oh, this person garners a lot of attention. Look how the people look at him. I want people to look at me that way. I want people to want to be with me like everybody want to be with him or her. Don't admire or envy wicked people. Yeah. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. If you are with an individual, when they are arrested for their crime, you can be charged as an accessory just for being in their presence. Yeah. You can get that serious. And you could have had nothing to do with it. You could have not even known what they were into, but because you were hanging around them. And this is why uh, when we discover, that's decision time. I'm innocent as long as I don't know. But the moment I know, I'm no longer innocent if I choose to remain connected with them. Listen to what the scripture says now. And be very clear. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Being with them can be your downfall. The wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. True story. Had a friend of mine, and we were walking home from school, and three guys pulled up in a car. We knew them, and they offered us a ride. Well, that morning, my mother had said to me as I was walking out the door, and I walked 22 blocks to school each way. My mother said, If someone offers you a ride, don't accept it. Walk home. I don't know why she said that. But after school that day, getting out, we put our traffic uniforms up in our lockers and put our flags, stop signs up, and we headed out the door, getting ready to go home. And guys pulled up just as we turned the corner at the school, going towards home. And they pulled up, offered us a ride. I said no. My friend said, "Oh yeah, man, come on, Dickies." And I said, "Man, no, I'm not going." I could hear my mother's voice. They drove 3 blocks, and well, no, six, 5 blocks. And there on the corner, they were pulled over by the police. The 3 guys had stolen the car and had just robbed a gas station and were stopping at. They had pulled over at the liquor store. Stolen car. All 4 of them got arrested. True story. They all testified that my friend, we all knew them, but he had just got in the car with them 5 blocks ago. It was actually 3 long blocks because they skip a block in the numbers, so, but the numbers are 5 blocks away. But anyway, because it goes, that area goes 66, then on the left side, 67, 68, yeah, 69. No, 67 doesn't come through, 68, 69. Then it jumps over here, 71, 72 on the right side, 69, 71, 72. And they got him at 71. So anyway, they're on the corner 71st. And they all testified. You know, he got charged because he was in the car with them as an accessory. He was not there when they stole the car. He was not there when they robbed the gas station. He was in the car when they pulled him over. Avoid evil associations. Solomon says, don't, he says, don't envy them and don't desire to be with them. Don't hang out with the wrong crowd. It'll get you caught up every time. All right, now let's look at verse number 2. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. You ever hung around people who are always plotting? Listen, criminals plan. They plot. May not always playing well, but they talking about it. They planning. Yeah, man. We gonna you say we're gonna hit that lick, man. We're gonna hit that lick. Yeah, we're gonna knock that one. All right, we're gonna knock that one. We're gonna hit that lick, man. And what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna woo, 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 and they planning. Their hearts studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. They already told you what they're going to do. They told you outright. So don't be envious and avoid hanging around them. Why? Because they are obsessed with their wicked deeds. And that's their whole conversation. You ought to pick that up just from what they talk about all the time. A person will expose themselves if you simply listen long enough. Tell you everything you need to know or what you thought you wanted to know. So here he's saying, stay away from them. Don't even desire to be in that crowd. And if you happen to be, know always they expose themselves. You pick it up. And that's why it says you're innocent until you know. Your innocence is gone once you have knowledge. And because you have knowledge, that's the last place you want to get caught. Because you pay for something you didn't even do. You didn't plan. You didn't plot. You had no intention of even going with them. But because you're there. See, and they're always, as we used to say, running the game. Always trying to run a game. Planning what they're going to do next. They focus on doing unlawful deeds and committing unlawful acts. You know, they focus on their objectives. They're always planning, yeah, always ready to attack, and it's always something illicit, illegal, immoral. In other words, it's wrong, but they're always connected to some profitable association. We're gonna make some money. We're gonna make some money. We're gonna hit that lick. Yeah, we're gonna make that. We're gonna get this bag. Um, when in reality they are focused on destroying themselves. How many of them are doing this continuously and in effect ruining their lives? And by the time they realize how much they ruin their lives and decide to straighten up, now they have effectively limited their options for legal opportunities. Because there are some things you can't get into if you have a criminal record. If you have a criminal record, there are some ventures you can't even get involved in. And because they're always planning, and because they're don't even realize it, focus on their own destruction, they're going to suffer it. Um, Look at the reality of a thing, and not so much what you think should be fair or how it should play out. Well, that was in my past. I was young. Yeah, I made mistakes, but they ought to overlook that now. Patterns are created by behavior, and you are judged by your bad past behavior. And even though you may have turned over, hold on, y'all. I am doing my Bible study. I'll call you back. All right. And even though you may have uh, turned over a new leaf and made a conscious decision to do better and to avoid those mistakes, you have created a negative reputation and you're judged by that. People are creatures of habit. Uh, there are those who commit their crimes without weapons, some with weapons, which escalates the severity of the crime and opens up the possibilities of more violent occurrences while committing the crime, um, and end up losing trust with people because even though they can talk good game, people trust them once they eventually realize they're lying and that they're just stealing, cheating, what's the word, conning, uh, and doing whatever it takes to get what they're after. Be careful. And this happens in, just about, well, every aspect of life. When men are after a woman, they use those tricks. Nowadays, women that are after men use those tricks. Really after what the men can provide. Their money, their energy, their what's that called? Uh, oh man, their money, their energy, something else, and their time, attention. Yeah, they want the man's money, they want his energy, they want his attention, and they want his time. They don't want to give nothing, but they're always plotting on how to do this without giving up anything. That's a con. Uh, sometimes, and what they really are doing is stealing. You say you know a woman says she wants a traditional man to do traditional things, but she doesn't want to do traditional things. She just wants to be kept, wants to be taken care of, provided for. Uh, Men will do whatever it takes to get that woman sexually or get that money. And the same thing, women. Why? The love of money is the root of all evil. Um, they can be very charming, men and women. Man, crooks can be real charming too. Oh, they have a way of telling a story and selling a story and convincing the victim or the connie that they're going to benefit from this. So they'll tell a very good story, make it sound like the deal of a lifetime, um, even brag about how successful they have been at doing what they're doing and how the people really liked it. It's not always the case. But when you're wise, you avoid these kinds of associations because it's not profitable. Matter of fact, if you're wise, you avoid them completely. Completely. Um, the last thing you, as an honest, righteous, God fearing, loving individual, want is to be identified and associated with sinful, wicked people. And I don't mean you don't interact with them because Jesus hung with them to win them over. But he didn't hang out with them and plan and plot with them. And he went to them merely to convince them to follow him, to change their ways. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. When you hang around the wrong people too much, especially when you start getting buddy buddy with them, you will eventually be influenced and think it's cool to start acting and behaving as them. Evil communications or behavior corrupt good manners. Psalm 1 and 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. I'll finish it. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Listen, uh, you can't be led or misled by the counsel of the wicked. And don't hang around. That's standing in the way of sinners. Don't hang around, associate, interact. Proverbs 1 and 15. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. See, Solomon has been repeating this thing throughout. These proverbs are repetitious and being repeated. Why? He's trying to drive a point home. These principles to live by will save your life and your reputation. Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Another way of saying, don't be envious of him and don't desire to hang out with him. In my last scripture, Jeremiah 22:17. But thine eyes and thine heart are not for thy covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. Be careful, be careful, be careful. You're going to live righteous, avoid associations with the wicked. Come out from among them and be separate, saith the Lord. That's our lesson for tonight. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget to stay tuned for the announcements of the network coming back up. I plan to no later than the 1st of November be broadcasting again on the television network. And we have Roku, Android TV, Fire TV, Apple TV. There's 2 more. Did I say Android? I think I did. And Chromecast. It's 6 actually. Let's see. I had the list. Let's see if I can pull it up again. All righty. Okay, here it is. Okay. Come on. All right. We're going to be on, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Google TV, Android TV, and Chromecast TV. All right. And we're going to be offering the opportunity for others who want to come on and share. You have your own 30-minute slot, and you just have to pay an initial setup fee, and then after that, a maintenance fee. Be no broadcast fees. All right, you all. Thank you for joining. Appreciate all of you coming on tonight. I pray you all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed rest of your evening. Say a prayer for the Glaze brothers. I'll be at the homegoing celebration for one of the brothers who recently passed away. Tomorrow morning, I'm on the program. So pray for the Glaze family. And pray for all those who are bereaved and have lost loved ones. All right, you all. Thank you so much for joining again. Listen, God loves you and I love you. Not a thing you can do about it. Go and be blessed in the name of the Lord Jesus.
Are you ready to take your ministry in a new direction? Are you ready to explore new innovative ways to carry the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world? Have you ever thought about having a television ministry? Were you reluctant because of pricing? Did it seem too costly for your ministry? If I told you that television is affordable, and that there is a solution within your budget, would you be interested? There is an affordable solution for your ministry. It's Clarity IBN. Clarity is an affordable option for you to be on television. You can reach the world for Jesus without breaking your budget. Go now. Go to clarityibn.org. Fill out the contact form, and a representative from Clarity IBN will email you on how you can be on television affordably. Don't wait, don't procrastinate. Do it now. Go to clarityibn.org and get started.